Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. More than a guest today, actually. We have the producer behind the scenes of VoV, Krishna Kumar, everybody.
I think if you remove alcohol or any kind of drugs from a party, it reduces the fun by like 90%.
Let's break down 2023. We'll start with the first section, which was
The coming up with the podcast. Yeah. It's just the normal second semester going. And then he says I'm going to start a podcast to us. I thought that was a stupid idea then.
If you were the king of U of T and you have to fix the culture, what are you doing?
If my alarm goes off at 6, I realize if I don't wake up now, I'm going to feel like absolute shit later. I'm going to hate myself for that.
Was U of T the first time you've ever been to Canada?
Yeah. The quality of life here is like obviously better. Like when I walk my dog in India, there's a ton of shit on the ground.
And I'm going to diss on some U of T students, no offense. You can be academic as a person and still be an idiot.
I think universities are the best business ever made.
I have weaponized my delusional optimism very much in terms of this podcast. Would you consider politics to be a common topic of conversation amongst university students? 69% said yes.
I'm not into politics. You guys shit on Trudeau a lot.
Who's you guys?
All of you. I'm pretty sure everyone knows about the guy who was taking pictures of people in the bathroom.
I mean, I don't think anyone actually knows who he is, but like they've seen
Yeah, but
it.
you know about him.
If someone knows who that is, reach out. We're trying to get him on the pod. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the VoV Podcast, Voices of Vic. Today, I'm here with a special guest. More than a guest today, actually. We have the producer behind the scenes of VoV of... Happy New Year's, by the way. Krishna Kumar, everybody.
How's it going, man?
Not too bad. It's New Year's Eve when this is posted.
Yeah.
What are you going to be doing?
Probably nothing too much. I don't like to party, you know that.
Yeah.
So, if my friends come back from wherever they are to India, just gonna spend some time with them. That's about it.
That's good. Why do you think that so many people, university life, college life, like partying is a huge thing? And I feel like me and you are some of the few people. I mean, I'm sure there's more like us, but I don't know. Why are you not interested in partying? I know why I'm not, but...
First of all, I don't drink.
Yeah.
I haven't taken an edible in a while, too. So, and I think if you remove alcohol and weed or any kind of drugs from a party, it reduces the fun by like 90%. Yeah. So I don't see the point in going. Like, I'll go to like a couple house parties once in a while, like if it's someone's birthday, but that's about it. I don't see any point. People get drunk. Like, I started drinking. I did drink in grade 12. Yeah. You know, end of high school, you go on a trip. And that was a bad experience.
Yeah.
I'm ashamed of that, so just don't want to feel like that again.
That's true. The house party we went to proved to me that I am good with not partying. Because, like, throughout high school, I always was like, man, maybe I'm missing out. You know, I should at least try to go to one, or like frat parties here even. I was like, maybe I'm just antisocial. Maybe I should get out there, put myself out there. I went to this house party. Maybe we'll bleep out her name to not expose her. But, and it's just a bunch of idiots in the tiniest room, overpacked, dancing to songs nobody even knows. And it's bullshit.
And the thing is, once you stop drinking and you stop smoking and you're completely sober there, and you look at the drunk people, you just cringe so hard.
It's cringe.
And everyone, like, what the are these guys doing?
Exactly. And that's why, because once again, same here. I don't drink, I don't smoke. So I'm just standing looking around at these idiots, like,
that's the Andrew Tate thing.
But they literally, this is what they do. So it does not appeal to me, and I don't think it ever will. I find joy in other things, the simpler things in life.
And even after I stopped drinking, I still used to take edibles.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna make sure my mom doesn't see this.
Okay.
But I still used to take edibles in first and second year.
Yeah.
And then coming into third year, I did take an edible or two at the start of the year, but then I just stopped seeing the point in it.
Yeah.
It made me lazy as fuck and dumb as fuck. You guys saw that.
Yeah. So wait, why did you want to take it in the first place?
I don't know. It was like, it's the weekend. I got all my work done. It's time to relax. Yeah. Take an edible.
It's relaxing.
Eat some food. Yeah.
Okay.
But
that's fair. But like, okay, this is another thing. I was hearing Andrew Tate talk to George Janko about this. How George Janko loves smoking weed. Or maybe doesn't love smoking weed, but like that's a thing
he does
that
smoke
he
weed,
indulges in, right? Yeah. And they were basically talking back and forth about like, why do you want to do that? Like, why do you want to smoke weed? And he gave the exact same reason as he was like, it's relaxing, you know, it helps you just chill. But the reason that Tate said he wouldn't want to do that is because he doesn't like that state of mind of just like being relaxed and your brain not being activated. He always likes getting shit done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So is like, have you moved from like chill mode to like full grind, or is it just like, I'm not going to put chemicals in my brain, I can just chill without it?
No, I don't think it's the second thing. It's not about the chemicals as such, but it's just like you don't like how it feels when you're doing it. I mean, you do like how it feels, but then I don't know. I just don't feel like it's deserving right now.
Is there guilt?
Yeah, I don't think I've done enough till now that I deserve to just like maybe sure, once in a month you relax after finals or something, but I don't think I've done something that's constantly deserving of just relaxing, smoking weed, drinking, or just doing nothing when I could be doing something to make money or something, right?
Absolutely. I got to figure that out. What's been your biggest struggle in 2023? Like, what's the biggest obstacle, hurdle, challenge you faced this whole year?
This year's just been making money, just trying to make money. I tried doing some stuff in the summer with video editing. I did a couple of things with
the shark guy.
That was the second guy, yeah. The first guy was like a legit guy. He made like athletic apparel for the gym and like a bracelet with like a dumbbell here. It looked cool. So I made a bunch of wheels for him. That was fine. I got paid. But then the second thing was a fucking shark blanket. You know, like one of those onesies, the shark blanket, and then he sent me videos of people dancing around in the blankets with the goofy ass music.
There was I think it was one where it said, my girlfriend, or POV, my girlfriend, when she gets the shark blanket.
Yeah, and then
you couldn't see her face, so it was just him in the blanket pretending to be
It was probably the dude, yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. No, but that's true. Video editing, we made those business cards.
Yeah, we fucking didn't do anything about it.
We won't talk about that, but next semester, I think that's a huge thing, and that's an obstacle, but I don't know if I would say that's been my biggest obstacle of 2023. I'll get that. Sorry.
I think the main thing is just we talk a lot of stuff, but we don't go through with it.
You taught me about that. I never thought about that until you said something. Mental masturbation.
Yeah, no, wait, we'll get to that. One thing I heard, like I was watching a fucking dating show, like online this one time, and this one girl said, "Ambition is good, but follow through is better."
Hold up, you were watching a dating show?
Okay, yeah. Okay, it's like it was on the YouTube recommended thing, so I clicked on it.
It's like a Jubilee?
It's called updating, yeah.
Okay.
So this one girl said, "Ambition is good." When asked what you want in a boyfriend, and she said ambition is good, but follow through is better.
Yeah.
And that just made a lot of sense.
That's true. Action first. You can talk a lot of shit, but if you don't actually do, you just look like a clown. That's true. And when I think of biggest obstacles, I don't think of like making money per se, like as a direct result. I feel like that's the result, is making money, but the obstacles in my mind are more the processes to get there. So it's like, I think my biggest obstacle of 2023, biggest challenge, I think that so it's weird because 2023 starts as second semester and then summer and then first semester of the following year, right? So we had second semester of second year, then the summer, then first semester of third year. Those are three very different stages of life, I feel. Like if you looked at yourself in second semester of last year compared to the summer compared to now, those are three different people.
Yeah.
So I think that the biggest one for me, in the summer I worked full time, 50 hours a week, and it was really good. That was like peak. I felt like I was at my peak version of myself of 2023 was in the summer.
I never asked you, was that like a 9 to 5 thing?
It was a 7 to 5 thing.
And the lunch break at 12 or 1, whatever. Yeah.
So
How was that? How was that experience?
It was good. Obviously, I don't want to do that my whole life. Like it wasn't in the sense bad that like, oh, I can't be like I'm in a rut, whatever. Like I was only 19, so like if you work a summer job 9 to 5, 7 to 5, whatever, that's fine.
No, it's still fulfilling. It's still fulfilling. It's still rewarding. But then I worked like an internship at my dad's company, and it was just sitting there 9 to 5 with your lunch break at 12 or 1.
Yeah.
And then just going home, just doing that all over again the next day and the next day and the next day.
You got a glimpse into what like
what your future life is gonna look like if you don't do anything about it
exactly.
right now. And while that was a good experience, I learned a lot. I still don't want to do that for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Because that's the thing. That's exactly what it is. You get a little peek at what like so many people's lives look like. And it's tough. No matter how passionate you are about the job, I don't even think it's the work itself that you need to worry about being passionate about. I think it's the layout of the week that you need to be worried about. Like if your layout is same time, show up, leave, and it's monotonous, it's just repetitive. That's not exciting at all. There's no excitement in your life. The excitement is getting home and watching fucking Netflix.
Yeah, and the thing is, while you're in university, like right now, we have the semester, and then we get like a 20-day break. And then the semester, and then like a 4-month break. And when you start working a job, the whole year is just one thing. Yeah. There's no semester, no breaks, no vacation. Like it's maybe you get fucking 15 vacation days a year or something. Yeah. But that's about it. The whole thing is 1 year.
That's huge warning to anyone that doesn't want to live that. Maybe some people want to.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
There's nothing wrong with that.
Want to. They like that repetition. That's what I was saying is that my best, healthiest, strongest version was in the summer because my gym was repetitive. It was always on schedule. I was hitting the gym the exact same times. I was going to work. I had a planned week. I had eating lunch at the same time every day, eating breakfast at the same time every day, eating dinner at the same time every day. So those aspects of like lifestyle were huge, were very beneficial to my health and overall like productivity. But I think that the main takeaway from that is that I need to be able to take that without the regimented schedule of the 9 to 5, 7 to 5 job. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of good things that can come from it, but then it also traps you in.
See, you just explained how being disciplined makes you feel good about yourself.
Correct.
The whole routine.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get back to what you were saying. How you've changed from second semester to summer to first semester now.
Yeah, that's a good point. Second semester last year, what was it? We were just getting started with the podcast.
Yeah, we started in February.
February 26th was the first episode. We dropped actually 4 episodes on the first day. I think that's huge. Let's talk about that. So we'll do that. Let's break down 2023 because this is a New Year's Eve episode. We'll start with the first section, which was
the coming up of the podcast. Yeah,
coming up of the podcast. Yeah.
First of all, so it's just the normal second semester going. Exams are coming. And this guy just buys like fucking equipment, tripods, cameras, ring light, everything. And then he says, I'm going to start a podcast to us, like a couple of us, a bunch of us. And then I thought that was a stupid idea then. But then after, like maybe like a day or two later, I went up to him. I said, I think it's a good idea. I want to be involved. I want to edit your videos. And then we need to do this together. And he accepted. And then we started doing it.
I didn't think that you were going to remember that. I was going to come out and diss you on, but like, yeah, Krishna said that he thinks this is stupid. Same with Adam. Both of you guys are like, nah, who would watch a podcast that Victoria called?
Like we're sitting on the couch in the common room, you, me, Kat, and Adam, and then you tell us about that, and then we just shit on you for it.
Exactly. 35 episodes later, it's growing. It's started. So, okay, the very first thing. Should we talk about Venus?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Do you want to just expose what the idea was? Because I don't know if we're doing it.
Yeah, because we're not going to do it now. Yeah. First of all, even in second year, we were so like determined to find a business plan to make money. Yeah. We came up with the idea of a dating app called Venus. I don't fucking know why. It's the god of love or something.
It's the opposite of Aphrodite.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Because we didn't want to clash with Aphrodite project. Yeah. So we came up with the idea of Venus. It's going to be a dating app, especially for U of T. And then potentially expand to other universities. Yeah. But you can like see what classes people are taking, and why don't you explain the rest?
Yeah, I mean, maybe not exactly what classes because we were worried about stalkers, right? Yeah. But it was basically a U of T dating app. It was a college-centered dating app. So dating apps, the idea is that they're very dangerous. Like you don't know what exactly you're getting into. We hear all these stories about Tinder dates going wrong, people getting like assaulted or drugged or whatever. So to fix that for college students, at least, you would make a dating app that's exclusive to your university. So you have to sign up if it's U of T with your UToronto email address.
That was a fucking hurdle trying to figure that out. Yeah. How you were going to do that?
There was absolutely.
Without being affiliated with the university?
Exactly. Because then we were thinking about advertising, like how do we make students know it's about U of T without using the word U of T because we're going to get sued. Anyway, so that was the idea. It was a great idea in my opinion. But there's a lot of, you couldn't just go and start it right away.
Like first of all, making an app takes a while. Yeah. And then making an app for the App Store plus the Google Play Store takes a while. Yeah. There's like 50% Android users, including me. Yeah. And then there's 50% Apple users. And then we started to, we thought about trying to find some CS students who could do this as their project.
Because it was me, you, Adam, none of us are CS students.
Yeah, we're just fucking economics and life science.
Yeah.
So we have no experience with app development or anything.
Right.
And then we thought about making the website, but we felt like the website is just going to be like an advertising thing. You can't actually use the app. You can't actually use the functions of the app on the website.
Right. So I think that it's important that we talk about that because that's a huge, that played a huge role in starting VoV.
Yeah.
Venus had to come before VoV because if I'm not going to say worked, but we had that idea in our hands for like months.
No, we did a lot of stuff. It's not like we just talked about it. We made a whole business plan, a 10, 11 page document.
Yeah.
We presented it to one of the, who was it? Callan? Mm-hmm. We presented it to Callan, who was
Shout out to Callan Murphy.
Yeah, he was a guest on VoV. Yeah. And he was our Don then. And he was a CS student, He entered at Tesla and shit, so we thought he was qualified.
Absolutely.
We presented it to him. And even though he didn't agree to the app development because it's a big commitment, he still gave us a lot of feedback on it.
Absolutely. So yeah, we did take it relatively seriously. He posed some really smart questions that made us rethink the way that we were going to approach this because he's an incredibly smart man. I think that all three of us realized after meeting with him, this guy's only 2 years older than us. What the f***
And then he started talking about back-end development and front-end development and full-stack developers, and we're like, what the f*** is he talking about?
So, no, he's a genius. Shout out to Callan. That was a great episode. That's one of my favorite episodes. So we got him to look over the business plan. We had a few missing gaps. We didn't exactly finish everything, but it's honestly a smart idea. The concept of it, there has to be a demand for safer dating apps for college students, right? Because people are only becoming more and more antisocial, more and more online. It's not like the number of people who are using dating apps is decreasing, I would think, right? So it's just genius. But then there's way more obstacles to make a dating app that's centered around U of T, and you need a university's permission to give you for Toronto email addresses, have the branding link to U of T, all this stuff. It'd be a complete mess. So after 5 months of testing that out, we decided to scrap it. Adam was going to take it for himself.
He said he was going to sell in stocks,
and then
25,000 worth, and then he was going to hire an app developer and then do the thing.
Yeah.
So we assigned it to him. We left.
Yeah.
He left first, then I left, and then it was just Adam, and then
he left.
Nothing happened.
So it's open if anyone wants to make a U of T or
hopefully
college-centered dating app.
Some CS students find it and then do it as their project or something.
Absolutely. Yeah, because, man, it could be a huge thing.
And we came up with that especially for U of T, thinking first. We didn't even think about scaling at first, right?
Yeah.
It was just U of T.
Yeah.
Because the culture is kind of closed off.
Yeah.
Even in classrooms or the dining hall,
yeah.
You have to sit one seat apart or you're a fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Yeah, I don't know. It's true. It's there has to be that gap. I
do
it too, but
yeah, I do it too, but it's just it's us being hypocrites right now, but
yeah.
There's still there's only 10% of the lecture hall who talks to each other, and then the rest are just sitting there closed off.
Absolutely. And we've made clips about this where it's U of T's antisocial, blah, 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 on U of T. If you were the king of U of T, I was going to say president, but let's make it super powerful. You're the king of U of T, and you have to fix the culture, the antisocial culture. What are you doing? How do you fix it? What do you think is the root problems? How would you go about that?
I don't know what the problem is, because there's a bunch of universities in the U.S. The party schools,
yeah.
Arizona State and fucking Purdue or something. I don't know.
I don't know what that
is. But it's a university, bro.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure there's no close culture there.
Right.
They're all really knit together.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What do you think is the cause here of the culture? How it is?
I wonder if it's a U.S.-Canada thing. Could that be?
No, TMU is not like that. We've heard from people that TMU isn't like that.
Better. That's a good question. I don't know. Maybe it's the weight. If you fail at TMU, no offense, if you fail at TMU, the stakes aren't as high as if you fail at U of T.
Yeah, and the academic difficulty, I would like to believe, is harder here than any university in Canada.
Right.
Even though everything's hard, it's still going to be a little more rigorous here.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't want to believe that it's just academics, because does Harvard have this? I feel like Harvard might be social. You know what I mean? Harvard's definitely harder than U of T. don't know.
I think the thing is people are just against each other, everyone. Like, you have to get an internship a third year, and I'm going to fight you for it.
Yeah.
So,
That's true.
yeah, they're just competing against each other, especially Rotman kids. Like, you talk to them. Yeah.
Rodman.
They especially talk about how competitive it is.
Yeah.
So, I'm guessing that's the cause, but we don't know.
That's interesting.
We're just students here.
I would have some ideas that maybe would get me canceled, so we won't say that. But yeah, anyways, okay, so Venus flopped hard.
Yeah.
Then I was pissed because I was struggling with the exact thing you were talking about just talking and no action, whatever that chick said. I like a man who has ambition, but what's better than ambition is
Follow through.
Yeah. Exactly. So I was not following through on shit. You know what I mean? I felt like there was a clock ticking in my head. You know, I was about to graduate. I was about to be in the real world. I'd have to go 9 to 5, all this shit. So I was just like, I need to start something right now. And before any plan, before I had any guests, before I consulted almost anybody, before I had a logo, I went and I spent a fair amount of money on a bunch of shit to get this thing started.
And then you had to commit. You had no other choice.
Exactly. I forced myself in the situation.
And like, you lost all this money, you might as well put it to use.
Exactly. Sunk cost at that point.
Yeah.
So I just sunk a bunch of money. I'm like, all right, now that this is spent, I have to figure it out. That was my idea, and that really worked with VoV. We'll get to, once we start talking about the summer, we'll get into something where I spent some money in the summer that, you know, I tried to force myself in another situation, but it didn't work and I lost the money. But anyways.
And even before this, we were so like hell-bent on making money. We stood in the OVO U of T giveaway line, like the opening thing. We got there like, when did we get there? Like midnight or something? Even before that?
Before midnight, yeah.
And the drop was next day, like next morning. We got there before midnight, and there were still 4 fuckers just sitting there, waiting before us.
Well, actually, yeah, no, we were strolling around at around like
we got
8.
Popeyes, and then we were walking around.
Yeah, exactly. It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
But we got Popeyes. No one was there. I think that we started in the line at 2 a.m. At 2 a.m. we actually got in line, but we were like around making sure nobody was there at like 8.
And we didn't check the actual gate, and there were still 4 people there.
Yeah.
Just sitting.
Yeah. That was fun. So yeah, money was the goal.
Yeah.
And with the podcast, I don't think money was the goal. It was just needing to put my energy into something that could, you know, bear fruit in the future. So I think that one day this is going to be profitable. Mm-hmm. And obviously you have to go through I don't know if you've seen the curve. I don't know. You haven't read Atomic Habits, but I'll give you that thing.
I have read Atomic Habits.
You have read Atomic Habits? Okay.
That was the first book I ever read, like
perfect.
Starting college.
So you know the valley of disappointment?
Yeah.
So it's like where if this is time and you're putting constant work, constant energy, and this is payoff, the payoff is going to be very small at the start, but then skyrockets.
It's not linear, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, let's talk about the followers we had.
Yeah.
When we started, it took us like a month or 2 to get 300 followers, and then like another couple of months, and then it kept growing. And now, since we did the giveaway, and then we've been consistent, the growth has been exponential, and I think it's just going to keep growing.
I agree. Yeah, knock on wood. And the other thing I like to think of it is, I don't know, this might be a bad reference. I don't know how boats work, but like think of like the Titanic. Guys are shoveling coal into the engine, okay? And that was, in my mind, shoveling coal was following a bunch of people, because that's how VoV got their first followers. I followed a bunch of U of T accounts. Yeah. So it's like everyone needs to know that there's a podcast about U of T out there. So I went into my following, I followed all my U of T friends, went to a bunch of U of T pages, Victoria College pages, followed everyone. Boom, 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 boom.
It's basically all the people in Victory now.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, is that once I started following, you could check accounts and see followed by these 3 other people that you follow. So I'm going to
just keep going.
Exactly. So I ramped it up. And to me, that was like the coal of shoveling coal in, right? Shoveling followers in, following different accounts. Mm-hmm. But then once you shove enough coal in, then the engine's going to start moving itself. The momentum's going to push the ship to where you don't need to put any more coal, because the momentum's going to carry the ship itself. And that's kind of where we're at now. I don't need to follow a bunch of random accounts with the VoV anymore, because the posts and the content themselves are getting people to follow.
Yeah, I think if we just keep posting good content, it's interesting, people are going to follow.
Consistency too.
Yeah.
That's important. Controversy too.
Yeah.
Ibrahim, shout out to Ibrahim for the top clip of the year.
And that was our first 100,000 view post on Instagram.
Yeah. The first one that blew up really was Elle's. So shout out to Elle. That one almost hit 100. 86.
85, 86, yeah.
But no, that's really cool. I wanted to do VoV, like VoV awards. Not like physical things, but just like post on the story at the end of the year. This guest got the most views on a clip on Instagram. This guest got the most views on a clip on TikTok, whatever. And just like have it for a post. Just brainstorming ideas. We'll do most viewed on YouTube, most viewed on Instagram, most on TikTok.
TikTok is just going to be Alex.
Obviously, yeah. No one's going to beat Alex. But like, what else? What else could you do for a VoV award? Because I want to like shout out the guests again, because like that's a huge factor of getting this started. Obviously, if people don't listen, like listeners and followers are important too, but we also need guests like the podcast. I'm surprised that we haven't really missed a week, other than like obviously you start the podcast, summer break, but since like there hasn't been a week where we had to say, sorry, we didn't have a guest, we have to take this week off. Like
it's been full.
Yeah, which is awesome. Like what else? What else can you do to like shout out a guest? Just like, this is just honestly straight behind the scenes VoV content talk. But
The main thing we thought about doing was like when we moved into this residence, we have the suite to ourselves now, so we can shoot here.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we put up a nice wall behind the guests with the hexagons, the soundproof hexagons, and we thought about doing like signatures of each guest, but then we never started it. So it's just weird to do it now with like half the guests not on it.
That would be sick.
Yeah.
Or like
that wall would look good.
Or like have some sort of like, I don't even know, like a little like a plaque that people sign, or like a ball. Anyways, side point. So that was second semester of second year.
Yeah.
Took off. We got some good guests. We had to lug all the shit to Robarts. Do you remember that? I can't even remember. Like, because when I was walking, my cat saw the green bag that we always used to walk shit in.
Yeah.
And then made me rethink. I was like, we brought all of this equipment to rooms that we had to book.
RJ is a blessing.
Yeah, it is. Anyways, okay. Jump into summer. How was your summer? What did you do in the summer?
Just a lot of the same stuff, like you said your summer was.
Yeah.
Mine was the same thing. I worked at my dad's place, dad's company, and then just the same routine every day.
Yeah.
Wake up early, go to the gym, work, come back, play
Did
basketball.
you do that the whole summer?
Yeah.
Damn.
I never missed a day. I haven't missed a workout this year.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
I mean, I have missed a couple of workouts, but it's not because I was like lazy or something.
Yeah.
It's because I had to study.
Fair.
Or it's not like I never woke up at 6 in the morning.
Got it. What's your workout? Okay, no. What's your secret? Because this is something that you have me beaten. I will admit, you have me beaten. I guess it's just discipline, honestly.
No, I have the perfect answer for that.
Okay.
The thing is, if my alarm goes off at 6, and then I snooze it like once, and then I wake up at 6:05 or 6:10. But then I realize if I don't wake up now, I'm gonna feel like absolute shit later. Like when I'm up at 11 or 10, I'm gonna hate myself for that.
Yeah.
And then the whole day is wasted because now I need to go to the gym, which takes up like 3 hours, showering, eating, everything. So if I don't go to the gym in the morning and then I wake up later, it doesn't feel like, okay, good, I got more sleep.
Yeah.
It just feels like I wasted my day.
Got it.
Just feels like shit.
So you're saying the key is to prevent any further or any greater self-hate.
Just think about your future self.
Yeah.
Like your 11 a.m. self.
That's true.
I just saw that on Instagram like a week ago or something.
What do you think about like Instagram or social media role models? Because Kat was dissing on me for like looking up to some of these guys.
Who exactly?
Yeah, you know. So
no, look, I know everyone hates on Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate and the Justin Waller and everyone, but I think the hating thing is becoming a trend now. Like you have to hate them.
Right.
But they teach you a lot of valuable stuff.
Yeah.
I believe so. Because he hasn't taught me to be misogynistic. I don't hate women.
Yeah.
He has only taught me to be more disciplined.
Right.
And better with women, actually.
Yeah.
He hasn't taught me anything negative. I'm not listening to women being like, okay, I'm going to harass this woman now or something, right?
Yeah.
I'm just taking positive things from him.
That's the thing. It's that it's like, that's the case for 99% of the guys that watch his stuff. Anyone that would watch the Tate brothers or Justin Waller or any of these guys and then actually become more misogynistic is misunderstanding their message.
Yeah, you can interpret it in tons of ways.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I realized this like a day or two ago. Like, when those guys are being offended, why are they being offended? Like, you and Kat, and I eat a lot of cookies and cupcakes. So these guys call me a fat ass all the time.
Yeah.
I have never once been offended because I know I'm not fat.
Obviously.
Like, for a fact.
Yeah.
So if I'm being offended, there has to be something to it.
Right.
You
That's
can't just
true.
be offended for no reason.
That's true. That's what I was telling you. I don't know if I told you that, but I was telling somebody about the Ibrahim clip, about how everyone was freaking out in the comments. And I'm not saying he was right or wrong. I'm saying that if there's that much outrage, there has to be an element of truth to it, or else there wouldn't be outrage. If Ibrahim had got on the podcast and said, the earth is flat, and started giving all these reasons why the earth is flat, nobody would care.
Yeah.
Nobody would be like, Ibrahim, the earth's off.
You can't be offended about that. You're just gonna think the person's stupid.
Exactly.
I can't do anything about it.
But if you're upset, if you're offended by a certain opinion, there's at least an element that is true or that makes sense. That's why people argue. But anyways, that part aside, just like online social media, I guess, role models. Do you think that it makes sense to be able to look up to somebody that you've never met?
That, yeah.
Yeah.
100%. But I am very suspicious of a lot of them. Because most of the people now are going to be selling courses.
Yep.
Even Andrew Tate, he's selling in the real world.
Yeah.
Which might be useful, might not be useful. I don't know. I haven't joined it.
Yeah.
And then I feel like if you're selling a course and you're making money through it, then you're making money by selling the course.
Right.
You're not making money through, unless you've made money previously, you know what I mean. But
Oh, I see what you're
if
saying.
your primary income is saying that you know something and then selling a course about it,
Right.
and then making money off of that,
Right.
there's no point in trusting you.
Right.
Like Alex Hormozy, he's the guy I look up to a lot.
Yeah.
He's a business guy, but then he sells nothing. He gives away everything for free.
Got it.
All his courses, all his information, everything. So
So then, wait, why does he do it? Sponsors?
just because, no, not even, he has no sponsors. He has 0 sponsors.
What?
He doesn't need any sponsors.
Okay.
He has a ton of businesses.
Yeah.
He just does it to actually provide people with information, as far as I know.
Yeah.
There can
Or just,
obviously
like,
be an ulterior motive that I
maybe-
don't know about.
Maybe he likes being famous.
Could be.
That's cool. That's interesting. Yeah, it's definitely, like, I wouldn't say this about the Tate brothers, but I think that there's definitely, like, you can be skeptical of someone who says you need to make money really bad, blah blah blah. It's a sales thing, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's a
and
sales
there's
thing.
like a ton of those people now. Like
there's,
you go on,
there's so many fakes. There's
like
so
you
many
go on
fakes.
my Instagram, there's gonna be 1 in every 3 at least. One of those people who says how you can make money.
Absolutely. So then, yeah, that was good. That's summer. Do you also work not only in the summer, but you work the whole year? You work at school?
Yeah, I mean the summer thing wasn't paid obviously because
Oh,
it
it
wasn't
wasn't
my
paid.
dad's thing. No,
Okay.
I'm not gonna make my dad pay me for an internship.
No, I didn't.
That's
know.
fucking ridiculous.
That's
Like
fair.
you expect him to pay your tuition and then pay you for the internship
That's fair.
to do
That's
some
fair.
work for him.
That's fair.
No, but I do work at Athletic Center in Goldring
Yeah.
through the year. I love that job.
Got it. And do you need to, like, my theory is that because the wage rate in Canada is like will make you rich in India. Is that true?
The thing is, I work maybe 9 hours a week,
Okay.
18 hours every 2 weeks,
Yeah.
so 36 a month, and I make more than any of the drivers we have. And
Any
I
of the
feel
what?
any of the drivers we have in India,
Oh yeah.
and I feel so bad about it.
Yeah.
Like I go back, and then they ask me, like, do you do any work there?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I work at the gym part time.
Yeah.
And then I tell them how much it is. And they're like, I need to go there.
Yeah.
And that's why you see all the fucking Indians migrating to Canada. I don't blame them.
Yeah, it's true. Wait, you saying drivers as in like
The
Uber
car
drivers?
driver. No, like,
taxis?
no, the personal drivers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because the labor cost is, I've told you about this.
Yeah.
The labor cost is really low in India, so you can hire a bunch of people. I calculated the,
Is there a minimum wage?
no.
No.
Because those guys, like, they come from the nearby villages
Yeah.
to look for work.
Yeah.
And then, because they just want to provide for their family.
Yeah.
And that's almost enough for them, like the money you pay them. It's not like you're underpaying them or something.
Right.
They can make a living off of that.
Got it.
But I calculated, and like a maid would be paid around $200 a month.
Damn.
Yeah.
In Canadian, yeah.
Yeah, in Canadian too.
200 a
So
month.
like 170 US a week, a
God
month or
damn.
something. Yeah.
Maybe I gotta go to India. What is like the biggest similarity and biggest difference that you've had from studying in Canada? Was U of T the first time you've ever been to Canada?
Yeah. And I came here without my parents because they didn't get their visa in time.
Yeah.
I only got my study permit. The main thing is,
Yeah,
I
you
think,
were late in first year. You
yeah,
showed
I
up
was
like
a month
late,
month and a half late.
Yeah.
Yeah. The main difference is just, I don't know, India's home. And then the culture here is quite different. Like, I think it's just U of T.
In a good way or a bad way?
It's good. It's bad. The quality of life here is like obviously better than and the average life you would have in India.
Got it.
Like even the streets, there's no shit on the streets like here.
Yeah.
So you can walk your dog properly. Like when I walk my dog in India, there's a ton of shit on the ground. I love India.
Human
There's-
shit or
No,
cow
not
shit?
human shit. It's cow shit and dog shit. Because in India you don't need like unless you live in like a posh neighborhood.
Yeah.
You don't need to pick up your dog shit.
Okay.
You just leave it there, and then it decomposes or something.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know how science works.
That's fair.
Yeah. So there's a the quality of life here I think is much better,
Yeah.
and in the future I hope to make money and then move my family outside of India.
Got it. That's good. U.S., Canada,
Either one, yeah.
either one. That'd be interesting. I feel like to the rest of the world, U.S. and Canada, I feel like seem quite similar. But when you actually, I feel like at least when you've been raised in Canada your whole life, when I enter the U.S., it feels like a switch, like right at the border. Because I went to Buffalo or New York State in the summer, and as soon as you cross the border, like all the fucking McDonald's the portion sizes are way bigger and they're way cheaper. That's why everyone there's fat as fuck. And besides McDonald's, there's a lot of different cultural aspects about the States that aren't in Canada.
Yeah.
The people too. It's like they're just like, you can tell an American from Canadian.
You live like in the suburbs, right? Here.
Yeah.
How is the life in the suburbs? Because I went to my uncle's place in the summer.
Yeah.
He lives in the suburbs in California, in Irvine. So I want to compare that to what your life is like here.
I'm going to be completely honest. I'm not exactly sure what the suburbs means.
It's like it's close.
Suburban area, like obviously, like what is that even?
I think it's outside the city,
Yeah.
but it's close enough that everything's available to you. Like you want to go groceries or something, it's like 15 minutes away by car or something.
Okay, so yeah, I guess that would be Orangeville, 100%. I like it. I think it's the best one. I mean, you could argue for even smaller than Orangeville, smaller than a 30,000 person town. I think it's a great upbringing. I think that it's good to know the people that you live close to, because in the city and U of T, it's like you're not going to walk to class and run into a bunch of people you know, or at least not even U of T, because U of T is a tighter community. I'm talking like if you were to go to the CN Tower from here, you're not going to bump into someone and be like, yo, what's up? Like that's extremely rare. Even if you live both in Toronto or both go to U of T, like it's just uncommon. Whereas in Orangeville, it's like you go to the grocery store, a lot of the time you're going to run into someone. Or you go to Sport Check, you know a guy that works there. It's like everyone's kind of like at least a little bit connected. I'm not trying to give this like fake fantasy idea that like everyone knows everyone, which is
No,
not
but it's
true.
obviously there's more connection in the suburbs than there is in the city.
Absolutely. And yeah, I mean, that's the main difference, is that it gets you closer to like people on a human level. Like we give the garbage man gift cards for Christmas.
That's good, yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, you just feel like this guy lives in my town. He's like one of me. I guess that's all. Because like when you live in a big city, it's like the dude that is your neighbor might not even be fucking born here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He might not even speak the same language as you. So like, how are you supposed to like feel any sort of like relatedness to them? And I'm not talking shit about immigration either, because my dad's an immigrant. Okay,
Yeah.
straight from Mexico. I'm just saying like that's how you lose a bit of that, I guess, cultural connectedness to your homeland.
So would you want to raise your kid in the suburbs or in the city?
Absolutely. Fuck raising kids in the city. That's a
Yeah.
terrible idea. No
That's a
offense
good answer.
to anyone raising their
See,
kids.
why
in
the
the
would you get offended about that?
Well, I mean, some people like can't afford to do it.
Okay, that's a different thing. That's not,
Yeah.
My bad.
But no, if I had the financial freedom, I'm raising my kids in a town, 100%. But it's hard because then all the work is in the city too. You know what I mean? Like I feel like nowadays it's easizer with online work and
There's a
stuff.
lot of remote work now,
Yeah.
yeah. Because my uncle, he just worked like completely remote.
Yeah.
He's the vice president of some company.
Yeah.
And he works like 4 hours a day. That's it.
What's your dream life? In
I
terms
feel
of
like-
work, like how do you want your work to be set up? You just said your uncle works 4 hours a day. Is that like your dream life?
That is a good life. Because like I lived for like 2 weeks with him.
Yeah.
And that was a good life. He has a wife. He has 2 daughters.
Yeah.
He has cars. He has friends. So there's nothing unfulfilling about that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then I think when we started all we need to make money shit, our goal was to be like billionaires or millionaires, right? But I don't think my goal is that now. I think it's just to be fulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
And money doesn't necessarily fulfill you.
What does? Because I'll tell people that. They'll be like, yeah, what's your goal? What's success? I think that's what Jay said on the podcast. I didn't actually question him about it. I should have. But like when I ask people, what is success to you? He's like, I just want fulfillment. I want to be fulfilled. Yeah, what is fulfillment? Like what makes you fulfilled?
I did a whole course on this right now with Kat.
Yeah.
It's the happiness course.
Yeah.
But first of all, why do you think people work? Why do you think people work so hard? It can't be just to make money. Like, accept the reason that you want to pay your bills and you want to provide for your family. What else is the reason people work hard? Because there's, say Dwayne The Rock Johnson. We did this in class. He has everything you could imagine, right?
Yeah.
He still wakes up at fucking 4 a.m. Why? He still does all this work when he can just sit down and relax, right?
Right. I think it's power. And I'll also say I'll quote, who was it? I'll quote Napoleon. He said, glory is fleeting, but obscurity is forever. So yes, Dwayne can just fucking not wake up at 4 a.m. and chill for the rest of his life, but he's slowly going to start going on a downhill slope where people are not going to care about Dwayne Johnson anymore. I think that if you want to stay the man, if you want to stay super successful, that's what glory is. Like you can't just go to the gym for 2 years and be like, yes, finally, I have the body I want. I'm going to stop going to the gym. Because you're losing it. You're going to lose it.
And it becomes a part of you after a certain point of time.
Absolutely. And same with a business. You can't just run a business for 2 years and then just say, I'm not going to work on the business anymore. It's going to fall apart.
I can't imagine how that must feel like.
Exactly. You can't just like date a girl and, flirt her and get her to like you for 2 years. Once she's liked you, now you're going to stop putting in effort. She's going to not be interested in you anymore. That's what glory is fleeting.
Because you see all these people who actually run businesses and they sell them. Yeah. Say someone sold their business for like $100 million. Yeah. They're set for life. But then what do you hear? They started another business again. Yeah. So
like, what are you supposed to do with your time?
Yeah,
it's not like trying to. Is it power? I guess.
So I'll answer your original question. Yeah. What would be fulfilling to me? Like, my life should be fulfilling. I think that would be, first of all, to make my parents proud. They've given up a lot for me to be here in Canada. That, and then just to have a wife, a family, and money is obviously a part of it. Like, you want money to be comfortable, but I don't see what more you could want.
I see life as a big competition. This is the number one thing that I've learned from Andrew Tate, is that I see life as a big competition. And how do I word this? Let me like go back in time a little bit. When I was younger, I wanted to be on the Orangeville hockey team, the rep hockey team, right? I didn't want to just play house league because like everyone there was trash, and I wanted to be on the competitive team. It wasn't competitive. Everyone that rolled into house league would just be like, "Yeah, I'm just here for fun." I'm just like, dude, I don't want to be here for fun. I want to compete. I want to try to win. And I never got that. I never made the rep team, like the competitive team in my town. So like I've always been kind of craving that competition. And then when I realized that life is a competition, right? Like everyone wants the same shit that you want. Whatever money you're after, someone else is after. Whatever wife you're after, even someone else is after. Like if you think that she's pretty, there's definitely someone else that thinks she's pretty too, right?
Yeah.
Going back to my point. Do you think that winning is binary? Either you win or you lose, or you think you could win, but even when you win, there's also a chance to win more. Like you could make a successful business. You could make $200,000 a year.
I think that's called being greedy.
Is it greedy?
After a certain point, yeah.
After a certain point. What point is that?
Well, that's for you to decide. It's subjective. It's completely subjective.
So, okay, I'm asking.
It can be 100,000 for me. It can be $1 million for you.
Then what is it for you?
I don't know.
You don't know?
That's the future's gonna tell me that.
But that's the thing, is that the climb is the most exciting part. So like if you set a goal.
That's true. That's true. The climb and the chase.
Yeah.
Like I just realized that a couple of weeks ago. I feel like, say I want an internship really bad. Say we want the Kinetics internship really bad. And then if we get it, like right now, I feel like I want it so bad. Yeah. And then if I get it, then it's like, okay, I did it now. So,
yeah,
I don't care about this now.
Exactly.
Even
so, if you paint this picture of fulfillment and you're like wife, kids, good income, and you reach it, now what?
Yeah, that's true.
Are you just supposed to stay and do nothing and chase nothing for the rest of your life? That's why I don't think it's greedy. I think it's just the climb.
Yeah.
It's a game. It's just a game. It's a competition. I don't want to exit the competition early. I don't want to like lower the bar on myself. I don't know. Another thing that I was struggling with, I told you about this. There was a week, just 1 week in this semester, where my discipline and focus and organization and scheduling and everything, work ethic, speed was perfect. I'm talking like 7 days in a row, it was perfect. There was no leaks. I was on time for everything, early for everything. And like after the 7th day, it fell apart after that. But after the 7th day, I was thinking like, what the do I do now? Because I'm so used to fighting against.
What do you mean? You keep doing it, bro.
No, I know. But like, it's like there's no other battle left. Like, it's like life has literally become easy. Yes, I do my homework. I record a podcast, whatever. There's no challenge. There's no fight. So then I fucking destroyed it. I stopped being as disciplined so that I could have something to fight against, which was myself, which was terrible. You're not supposed to do that.
Well, I think the challenge is keeping that up. Keeping that week up. Because you weren't able to do that week for the whole semester.
Right.
I think that's what your challenge should have been.
Yeah, I guess you could just try to extend it.
I think that's why people say all the destination is not the goal, the journey is and all that.
That's
bullshit.
true. No, that's true.
Yeah.
That is bullshit, but it's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Just sounds really cringe to say. So.
All right, we'll roll into third semester. Third section.
First year. Yeah.
Yeah.
First semester.
First semester, third year.
Yeah.
How has this semester been different for you? What steps have you taken to grow yourself as a person? What have you learned?
Well, first of all, I think I've like basically figured out the academics, like what you need to do. I'm not saying I'm getting a 4.0 every semester, but I think you figured out what to do. If you keep up with classes the whole year, then you do good. If you don't, then you don't. Other than that, how much do you think you've grown? So, say Carter in first year, first semester versus Carter in third year, first semester.
Yeah.
What's different about it? Because I get so much about this. I was not the same person in first year. And now when I go back home, all of my friends are like, oh, you don't want to party, you don't want to drink, what's wrong with you? Oh, back when Krishna used to be fun. Holy shit.
Shout out to Krishna's friends. That's interesting. Because do you think, okay, well, are you asking me like what is different?
Yeah.
Everything.
And do you think it's better or it's worse?
It's way better.
Yeah.
It's way better. It's way better, 100%. In first year, I was and I would consider myself a very mature kid. Throughout elementary school, high school, I was never one to drink, smoke. I was never one to do stupid shit, really. Like, obviously, you make jokes with your friends and stuff. But, I mean, in general, I was pretty mature. The change in maturity, I think, for me from first year to now has been the biggest it's ever been in my life. Because part of that is learning that life is a competition. And other parts of that is, I guess, going through things that galvanize you as a person. When I say galvanize, I mean like harden you. Pain hardens you. This is why I was talking about it with Ibrahim, is that it's good as a man to go through pain because you become a harder individual and you try to protect women from pain because you don't want women to be hard as individuals, right? And yeah, it's just the importance of building yourself up. Maturity. I'm way better shape, stronger than I was in first year. I didn't go to the gym. I started going to the gym because strong body's a strong mind. And yeah, I think honestly, if I had to just sum it down to one thing, is that life is a competition. That changed my life. That completely changed my life because I feel like I wake up every day with a purpose to win the day. You know what I mean? Before it was just like living life, like life was whatever, it was life. But now I see life as just a competition. What about you?
And add additional point to that, like building onto that, I think the main thing for me has been discipline, which is part of life's a competition, I think. Because how many people are actually disciplined, right? Because in first year, I was the same as everyone. Like, Arib keeps asking me, like, because in second year, he asked me, like, were you like this in first year? And I'm like, no, I used to wake up at 11, then maybe go to the gym, maybe not. Yeah. And then in second year, he's like, does everyone's mindset change in second year? I'm like, no,
No,
you do what you want, bro. It's on you.
Yeah, that's true. So discipline was the main thing. Was there something that happened to you? Was there an event in your life that made you realize, shit, I better start
Yeah.
being disciplined?
It was the thing you, me, and Anna did together. It was No Nut November.
Okay.
We started, it's not like how it sounds, but
Yeah.
so we started in second year, no,
Yeah.
first year, end of first year, right?
Yeah.
Whatever, end of second year, I think. Second year, November, doesn't matter. We started the No Nut November thing, and fine, that's just like the one thing. So I thought, like, you see all the self-improvement pages on Instagram. So I thought, if I'm doing this, might as well read some books, listen to some podcasts, listen to stuff about making money. And then just from then on, I just started doing everything differently. Even all the work. Like, I got into David Goggins.
Yeah.
I was into him before he was famous.
Yeah.
I read both his books, like one of his books before he was famous.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was the thing that was the paradigm shift for me.
But why? Like, it definitely wasn't the chemicals of doing NNN that changed your mindset. Like, there had to be something underlying that made you think it's important for me to be disciplined.
It just made me realize that I don't want to be a sheep for the rest of my life. Like, I don't want to do, because there are 60,000 people at U of T.
Yeah.
Like,
St. George U of T.
Like, yeah, just St. George. There's 100,000 people in all 3 campuses.
Yeah.
But you gain a lot of perspective when there's so many people around you doing the exact same thing.
Right.
Like, remember the fucking career fair?
Yeah.
There were like 7 blocks of people standing in line.
Yeah. That's true. And I'm going to diss on some U of T students, no offense, but this is a mental shift for me as well. First, before I say anything, is that a person is smart, but people are stupid. So when you get into a group, the decisions and the wisdom and just the logic completely starts to fall apart in most cases. Like, I can sit down with a U of T student. 99% of the people who I sit down with and have one-on-one conversations with at U of T are they're cool people. They're interesting people. Like, they have dreams and hopes in their work ethic. They talk about their interests, whatever. One-on-one, they're great. But when you look at a group, like when you just look at the whole of U of T students, you notice trends and you notice behaviors that are not good. They're not as good as you thought when you talked one-on-one with some of these people. As a group, you notice things that are just like, what the is going on here? This does not include me and you. I'm sure that you could place us in group settings and we would do stupid shit that, like, if we were to watch ourselves, we'd be like, you know what I mean? But no, I just get here. I expected to be surrounded by the elites of Canada and the most intelligent, wisest, most sound people, impressive people in the country.
I mean, you can't discredit that they are smart.
They are.
Everyone is smart, yeah.
I don't even know. They're academic.
Yeah, they're academically smart, yeah.
Yeah. Which is, I guess, it's a skill in its own.
Yeah.
But then, like, you can be academically smart, you can be academic as a person and still be an idiot.
That's
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, no wisdom and just act like a clown.
Mm-hmm.
Not trying to, once again, I'm not like going at any individual. I mean, like, you just notice things. So anyways, as soon as I got here, I realized it was all a joke. And I realized that this is not an institution of the most impressive people in the country. They're just a bunch of people that are really academic and good at school. And yeah, it's like, what are we all doing this for? I thought that, in elementary school, you try to get really good grades because, you're learning material, you want to do it for your parents. That's the main thing. I think elementary school, it's really making sure that your parents don't get pissed with your report card.
Yeah.
And maybe your own goals as a 6-year-old, I don't know.
That was my main thing during elementary, primary school, middle school, just to not piss my parents off.
Exactly.
'Cause they're paying a lot of money for me to learn this. So.
Exactly. But then you go to high school, and then the point of grades in high school is I want to get into this university. You know what I mean?
You know what I want to say about that? I think universities are the best business ever made.
I agree.
Maybe like 50 years ago, they were actually really beneficial because degrees were worth something.
Yeah.
Like, you got a degree, you're at the top of the class now.
Mm-hmm.
You get any job you want.
Yeah.
Now, we apply to universities and we beg them to pay them.
Yeah.
Like, I'm begging you, can I pay you $60,000 a year?
Please take my money, U of T. Please.
And then they accept you, and then you're so happy.
Woo! Get your letter.
Yeah. And then, okay, now I get to pay you $60,000.
Yeah.
And then I get a degree. But the thing is, the degree isn't useful in itself.
No.
Like, if I graduate fourth year and I go to an employer and I tell him I have a degree in economics and stats, he's going to tell me to f off.
Yeah.
Do you have any experience?
Yeah.
No.
No.
I have the degree.
I've been in school.
That's not
4 years.
enough. That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's not enough.
Mhm.
And you're still paying for the whole degree.
Exactly.
So that was my point. That university is the best business ever made.
It is
They're
the best
begging
business.
people to pay them.
They're
Compared to businesses.
They're getting people to beg to pay them. Yeah.
Yeah. Compared to businesses like who are trying to sell their products or
Exactly.
something.
That's true. That's true. You got to flip it. I don't know how you do that. University did it very well because there's a societal pressure that comes with university, right? Like that's the life path that you're supposed to go on.
Yeah.
Traditionally, which obviously I think, as most people know now, is bullshit. So anyways, in high school, you get good grades to go to university. In university, unless you're going to do your master's or going to graduate school, which I'm not doing, I think most people aren't doing, I think. Why are you trying to, like, what are the grades for at that point? That's what I realized. I'm like, what are the grades? Everyone here is so hemmed in on school. This is the last stage. This is the last stage, and then you're going into the work world.
I can defend this side because for me, the grades is just because your parents are still gonna. The main thing for your parents is if I sent you to the school, and I want you to learn something, and I want you to get good grades to make up for the fact that I'm paying so much money for it.
Yeah.
So the main thing for me to get good grades is that I don't want to do grad school. I said this to my brothers, and they were freaked out.
Yeah.
Even my mom was freaked out that I don't
Really?
want to do grad school because it's like you do undergrad, a year of work, grad school, fucking a whole thing,
Yeah. Yeah. Graduate school is never in the cards or the plan for me.
Yeah.
So, and like my parents didn't do grad school. My dad didn't do university. My mom did, but
No, but yeah, I think the main thing for people is still their parents.
yeah,
And then they started to think about their future a little more. That's it.
interesting. My thing is that I just need to be using my energy as efficiently as possible. So I'm not sitting here saying grades don't matter, just lie in bed and be a jackass and play video games. That's ridiculous. I'm saying that I have X amount of energy every single day. I need to make sure that that goes to the right places. So whether it's grades or something else productive that I think is going to get me to where I want university to get me. Because for university, I'm not trying to be an academic. I'm not trying to learn every single fundamental rule of economics and memorize the 2,000 assumptions they make. I am just trying to go and have a very successful, prosperous career. That is why I'm in university. So if I think that I can get that same outcome by not focusing on grades and focusing on other work, then I'll do that.
And the thing is, even though we shit on college so much,
Yeah, we do.
I'm still very grateful for it because it has made me. If this was me after high school, we talked about this.
Yeah.
I would be like, it's made me 100 times better.
Yeah.
Just not the economics or the stats, just the whole environment.
It's the environment.
yeah.
Yeah. I think I was talking about this with Justin Spears.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying, like, should I stop talking shit about university? Because without university, without U of T, I would have not had this maturity shift that I've had in the last 2 years. But U of T wasn't selling me that in the first place. That was like a byproduct. I kind of got that just by being here. University's selling, get the degree, learn Eco 349, learn STA 302, all this bullshit.
Eco 349 is a great course. by the
Okay, it
way.
is. Sorry.
Especially the professor, Tyler Paul. He's a great professor.
Shout out to Tyler Paul. I
Yeah.
shouldn't have said Eco 349. But no, anyways, they're just selling you the courses. They're selling you the degree.
Yeah.
They're selling you U of T. You went to U of T. That part aside. Anyways, I think that in the future, I think that we have a year and a half left of this. I would like to do more than I'm doing now. I told you that I really only had like a week this semester that I really felt at my 110%. So next semester, I want to be able to have that 110% and then use the other energy or use the energy I have for the podcast, for grades as much as I think is important, and then for other business stuff.
That's the thing, because I think people shy away from work a lot. Like, they want to get their work done on the weekdays and then go party on the weekends.
Yeah.
They shy away from work a lot. But the thing is, they shy away from work because they don't like what they're doing. Like, I don't like the economics too much. I still like economics.
Shout out Tyler Paul.
Yeah. It's not like someone studying engineering. They're obviously going to have a good career, but they don't like... I mean, okay, I don't know what I'm saying, but I think they don't like what they're doing, and then they go release it on the weekends. Even the people who work 9 to 5 jobs, a lot of them just chill on the weekends, right? They go party and something.
Yeah.
But I think the people who are actually doing what they want to do, like who are actually pursuing their passions, they don't want to take a break from what they're doing.
No.
Do you ever see any NBA players or NHL players or what's the NFL players? They want to take a break from basketball just because they don't like it.
Yeah.
They still love what they're doing.
Yeah.
So they don't want to take a break from that.
Who's that one guy who like hates the NBA?
The
He just won. Jokic.
Oh yeah.
Jokic,
It's like a fucking part-time job for him. That's his whole thing. Yeah. He's completely unbothered.
That's
like
the only exception.
he won the championship, and then he went to he said they told him when the date of the parade was in US or something, and then he's like, oh no, my horse isn't gonna arrive in Serbia that time. I can't be there for a parade or something.
Yeah. That's funny. Anyways, first semester of third year, I'm getting a call. Put that aside. We've progressed a lot with the podcast. It's grown. You know, it's not even a year old, and I think it's doing pretty well. One thing I will say is that I have weaponized my delusional optimism very much in terms of this podcast. I asked my family, and I asked you, and I asked Adam, and I asked Kat, what are your predictions for the follower count after
I still
2
remember
weeks?
that. I still remember I said 300 or something.
You did
like
say,
that. Yeah.
I think you said more than that.
Yeah.
What is your prediction for the follower count of VoV after 2 weeks?
You have that written down?
I think I still have it written down. I do. And after 2 weeks, I think we were at like 190, 190 followers.
Yeah.
Your prediction was 600.
That's good. Yeah.
My prediction was 1,041.
Yeah.
So if you had told me beforehand, Carter, you're only going to be able to get 190 followers after 2 weeks, I might have been discouraged, maybe. But I just set the bar so high that, like, I always think the best is coming.
Well, this isn't even about the optimism. It's like, you said you want 1,000 followers, so you're going to work to getting 1,000 followers. Even if you don't, then you still get 600 followers, right? But it's not like fucking sports betting or something that, oh, I hope this player is going to score 40 points. And then he scores 20 and you lose all your money. It's not like that.
No.
It's you who's deciding.
You got to be in control of it. Okay, no, but we're going to go through some polls because we've posted polls throughout the year. And something I noticed is that I always see like the results, the percentage of the polls, obviously because I post them and I can check. But for most people, they vote and they never see it again. You know what I mean? They vote on the poll, and it's not like they're going back to VoV. What was the result of that poll?
Oh, yeah, they just look at the results at that time, and then they don't see the rest of the people.
Exactly. They get like 10 seconds of the picture. They think about it for 10 seconds, and then it's out of their mind. So I think it would be very interesting to go back in time here and look at some polls, and we can maybe discuss some of the topics that were covered in these polls. First one was, why did you go to university? To learn or degree, baby? 62% for the degree, 38% to learn. What do you think about that?
I think mine was also degree.
Yeah.
When I joined, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's degree too. I think that I'm not anti-education at all. I think that education is extremely important. I think that some of the most interesting education, if I'm being completely honest, has been independent education. Has been going out reading books on my own. Yeah.
100%.
Because you actually have a curiosity for that.
Yeah. Right? I'm forced to learn economics and stats. I'm not forced to learn how to edit videos or how to be disciplined or something like that.
Exactly. And that's another thing is the illusion of choice. People go into university thinking, I'm going to choose economics because that's my favorite thing. That's only your favorite thing within the options of university.
The first 2 years of your university are decided for you.
Yeah.
Like there's like a set of courses that you have to take.
Yeah.
You don't have any choice.
Absolutely. And it's like, once again, it's just the best of the limited options you have. I'm not extremely passionate about economics, but it's definitely fucking better than bio or chemistry or any other of this dumb shit. Not dumb shit. Not dumb shit. No, you need biology. Bio is doctors. You need that.
Science is good.
Science. Yeah, sorry. Shout out to science. But like political science or psychology.
Psychology is good.
I'm doing a psych minor.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying in general, economics is my favorite of that span. But there's so much more that the world has to offer that you can actually learn about. I think history is really interesting.
You know, there's a course on Taylor Swift now at Harvard.
That's really good. You know, they invited Mr. Beast to Harvard, and he went to community college and dropped out. Now he's lecturing at Harvard, talking about philanthropy. It's interesting how that works. Okay. How much sleep do you get during finals? So we're in final season right now. The question was, how much sleep do you get during finals? Over 8 hours, 7 to 8, 5 to 6, or under 5. So we got 14% at over 8. I don't know who these fucking koalas and pandas are at U of T. 14% over 8. 47% 7 to 8.
That's me. I also sleep 7 hours.
I think that's good. 7.5 is ideal for me. 5 to 6 is 22%, and then 17% is under 5 hours.
We should do this again, this poll, this year.
It's not a bad idea. Why? Talk about the importance of sleep.
I listened to a podcast on sleep, like
Joe Rogan?
a while ago. Yeah, it was on Joe Rogan, but it was,
I've listened to that.
Matthew Walker.
Yeah.
No, but I think sleep is really important, but I also don't want to spend like a third of my life sleeping.
That's a good point.
You sleep 8 hours, you work 16 hours.
Yeah.
So I try to sleep. Like that clip of Andrew Tate, where he says that, so what if you sleep less one night and you work? Then you wake up next morning, you're tired through the day, but then you feel more rewarded when you sleep that night, right?
Yeah, because the sleep
So that works
after
for me,
a bad night's sleep is amazing.
So I don't think I don't have I mean, I know I sleep by 11 still, but
Yeah.
I don't think you should have a bedtime, but you should have a time you wake up by. And you just work off of that.
That's fair. I think, I think that a huge part of my discipline, or like that 1 week where I was trying to really zone in, I'm actually doing it now because I need to get this stats final good.
Yeah. It's worth 55%.
I've been dialed in the last like 3-4 days, like absolutely dialed in, like that 1 week I was talking about, like pure discipline. I think the two things that I really changed, like it's really only two things: sleep and concentration. Because concentration is just the ability to focus, and sleep is the energy to focus. So you have those two things and you're set. So anyways, that's sleep. Which year do you expect to be the best in university? 1, 2, 3, 4. Just that 1, 2, 3, 4. Is basically even split. 23% for first year, 25 second year, 28 third year, and 25 fourth year. So basically even split. We've had 3 years. What do you think is going to be the best? Have we already had the best, or do you think fourth year is going to be a different level?
The best? What do you mean by the best?
Just like the best experience overall. Not like difficulty wise. I mean, just like looking back, do you think that your most memorable, enjoyable year, whatever it is, which year do you think it'll be?
The thing is, whenever I look at past years, it's always just worse.
Right.
So I think, third year is better than second year has been. Second year was. And second year was better than first year. So I think fourth year is going to be the best for me.
That's a good point. I agree with you. 100%. Which students are the smartest? Canada, China, India, or other? 22% Canada, 34% China, 21% India, 23% other. When I was looking through all the votes, it was a bunch of Chinese profile pictures in China, a bunch of Indian profile pictures in India, and a bunch of Canadian profile pictures in Canada.
Well, obviously, yeah.
What do you think? You're Indian. I'm Canadian. China probably has both of us beat.
I'll probably say China.
I'll give this one to China. Is U of T in your bio? Yes or no? 74%.
Absolutely
yes.
fucking not. No.
So both of us are no. We're in 26% of the group.
Yeah.
I think I talked about this with Hannah already. We already had a discussion on it. I think that people put U of T in their bio as part of their identity. I think people are very closely knit sometimes to the university they go to, so it's like part of them. Like the way that an athlete will put number 6 LA Lakers is the same way someone will put U of T in their bio.
Yeah, but I also think the thing is that's their proudest achievement. That's their achievement they're most proud of.
That's fair.
And like the alumni who put U of T alumni in there.
Yeah.
I have nothing to say about that.
That will not be me.
I have nothing to say about that.
Student fight night. Would you like to see a student fight night? 81% say they would.
I don't see why that's a good idea. Why is that a good idea?
Dude, it'd be fucking sick. I don't think it will happen.
It's obviously not going to happen. It's not going to happen, especially not affiliated with U of T.
That's the thing, though, is that in the UK, it's a huge thing.
Well, the UK is like, there's a.
What?
Nothing.
Shout out to England.
I mean, I'm sure it's a huge thing in the UK, but not in like universities.
In universities.
As university clubs?
Yeah.
No, I don't
Yeah, it's the
believe that.
thing. He said
This guy was like,
No.
Theo.
Okay, next one. Are you impressed by someone who graduated university? Pretty even split here too. 46% say yes, 54% say no.
I do think it's impressive. It's just less impressive now because there's a lot more people doing it.
Yeah.
That's about it. So the more, like, if everyone has abs, it's less impressive to have abs. It's less valuable.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that passing university, like once we graduate, it'll be easier to say like, this really wasn't that hard, or this was a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
I think once I graduate, I have a feeling, because we're already 3 years in, that it's not gonna be a huge accomplishment. Like I don't expect to be like, I graduated university. Oh my god, it was such a grind. It was so close. I almost fit.
Like even now, I know.
If you like stay on top of your shit, you're gonna.
Yeah, I mean, even now we talked about this. University is hard, but it's not like that hard.
Yeah. Is it important to have passion for your work? 83% say it is. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm with the
You're
majority.
with the majority. I'm with the majority too. As I think we already said about it, though, we talked about it, was I think that the passion has to be more in terms of like the process than the work itself. I think that when I think of have passion for your work, I don't think of work at this company or work at that company. I think of what does my life look like and how is work implemented into that? You know what I mean?
And the passion is only for people who are privileged, obviously.
Like, what do you mean?
If someone is like really poor with a family to feed, they can't go about starting a podcast or starting a business necessarily.
Absolutely.
But they have to do what it takes.
It's purpose.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. It's also it's important to have purpose in your work. Because if you're just pulling up to some corporation that doesn't give a shit about you, if you died, nothing would change in the business. Like it would keep flowing. And like it's like whatever. Like it's not, if you're not like, I don't know who's passionate out here about like working for TELUS. You know what I mean? Like something like that.
Even the poor guy is working to feed his family.
Yeah.
He has a purpose.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the thing, is that I don't think that they're struggling with, oh no, I'm not passionate. Like, dude, he's feeding the family.
It's fulfilling for him.
That's what it is. Would you consider politics to be a common topic of conversation amongst university students? Yes. 69% said yes.
I'm not into politics at all, so not me. You guys shit on Trudeau a lot.
Who's you guys?
All of you.
University students?
Yeah. All Canadian students.
The weekly Trudeau protests at Queen's Park.
I saw someone with a Trudeau sign, but the U in the was the Canadian leaf.
I saw
the maple leaf.
I saw there was a Trudeau protest and an LGBT protest going on. They were going on at the same time, but then they merged into the same march. They were marching together. It's like, I don't know if the LGBT...
It's a bigger cause. Yeah.
I don't know if they like Trudeau either. So I thought that was pretty funny. Which of these... We've argued on this. Which of these main four relationships is the most important in life? Children, parents, siblings, or spouse? 20% say children. Oh, sorry. I'll go in order from highest to lowest. 39% say parents. 22% say siblings. 20% say children. And 19% say spouse. This is a very hard question for me personally. The only thing I know is that spouse has to come before children, because the saying is that if you take care of your relationship, if you take care of your marriage will take care of your kids. So that's something that makes a lot of sense to me. And I've heard a lot of married couples, even my parents told me that.
Did you ask your parents about this?
Yeah. They said,
what did they say?
They said, we put you and Troy first, and our relationship suffered just because they got divorced. So they said, if we put each other first, then our marriage would have taken care of you guys. So
that's a good point, yeah.
I think that's important. But when it comes to like the other, where do you slide parents in? Are they at the top? Are they at the bottom? Siblings, where do they fall? What do you think?
I will go parents, spouse, children, siblings.
Why siblings last?
It's not like siblings last.
I know.
It's just
it's a question.
Well, the thing is, my brothers are like 5 and 6 years older than me.
Yeah.
So I wasn't like really that close with them. They were pretty close because they're like 1 year apart.
Got it.
So that's just about it. But I still love them a lot.
Me too.
Okay.
I love my brother, not your brothers.
Yours is still, Troy is still like a year younger, right?
Yeah, he's like
so it's a much closer
2 years,
connection, yeah.
That's true. The argument for siblings, I've seen this on a Instagram on a reel, is that your parents leave you too soon, your spouse comes too late, your siblings are with you for the whole ride.
Yeah.
So that's the argument for siblings, that you are partners for life, in my opinion. That's how I see that. But parents are huge. They take care of you so that one day you can take care of them. I think that's a very amazing relationship. Kat and I watched the Home Alone movies last night. And the ending scene on both of them is when the mom reunites with Kevin, with the kid. I tear up at that scene. I'm not trying to sound like a bitch on
That
it.
is pretty gay. Yeah.
No, it's not gay. I tear up. I tear up in those scenes because it's like, I don't know, something about the mom in the movie reminds me of my mom. And just the look in her eyes when she finally meets back up with her son, it's so like heart-wrenching. Anyways.
You know, I think,
There's my soft part for the podcast.
Especially teenagers, they take their parents for granted a lot.
That's true.
I did too. Like, I was a bitch to them when I was like 16 or 15, 17, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. And then my brothers used to shit on me for that, but then now I realize that you should not be doing that. You owe everything you have to your parents.
Absolutely.
You were nothing without them.
Absolutely. Yeah, they literally created you.
Yeah.
No matter how shitty they may be, you at least need to be grateful for that one aspect.
Especially the stereotypical white kids who like shout at their parents and shit.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you guys.
Yeah, fuck you guys. That's terrible, man. Okay. Should we get him on the pod? You want to read out the percentage? You want to
I'm sure everyone knows about the
the voyeur.
Voyeurism, isn't that? I thought voyeurism.
I think
what's
it's when
voyeurism?
you watch people have sex.
Yeah, I think that was that.
Yeah.
This guy's just taking pictures of people in the bathroom.
Maybe it's like a type of voyeurism.
Okay, well, I'm pretty sure everyone knows about the guy who was taking pictures of people in the bathroom.
I mean, I don't think anyone actually knows who he is, but like they've seen
Yeah, but
it.
you know about him.
If someone knows who that is, reach out. We're trying to get him on the pod.
A lot of the people said yes.
So the poll was, should we get the voyeur on the pod?
Yeah.
54% yes, 11% no, and the rest of the percent, 33%, was just laughing at it.
And that would be pretty stupid by him. He's wanted by U of T. I don't know how they can't find him. He has a SD card. He probably scans it somewhere at the gym or the library.
You know, he's definitely been doing online lectures
Yeah.
since he got that caught, since the security camera footage got
Like, they
leaked.
sent out notifications saying, we're looking for this guy. Please let us know if you notice anything.
Do you know what's crazy, though, is that in the description of who he is, they don't mention the race, because it's racist to do that. That's
what you get. That's what you get for being woke.
Yeah, is that you don't fucking catch the guy. That's your fault. Some Asian student at U of T who's like 5'5", short guy.
Is allegedly taking pictures of people in bathrooms.
Allegedly is walking through. Some dude's taking a shit. It's probably girls.
Yeah.
It's probably good. It's probably, yeah. So he's probably, that's my guess. He's going into women's washrooms and like shoving the phone under the stall.
Yeah.
That's f***ed up.
That is pretty fucked up.
It would be an interesting podcast, though.
Yeah.
Interesting. Anyways, it's been a good conversation. A good way to wrap up the year.
Yeah.
Episode number 35. I appreciate you doing this. Thank you for the work. This has been a good duo and huge things to come.
It's only going to get better now.
It's only going to get better. What's your number one goal for 2024?
I'm not a big resolution person.
Yeah.
But I think it's just to be consistent with everything I do.
Yeah.
And I have big aspirations for VoV.
Yeah.
What are your goals for VoV in particular?
VoV in particular?
For 2024. And then we only have one semester left till college is done.
Yeah. You're thinking of, this thing is like, I when you say goals, is it like a number? Are we looking for followers? Are we looking for views? Like, what's the goal?
I don't think the number is a good idea.
Yeah. Because it's so hard. Like, the algorithm, it's like you can't predict that, really.
Not even that. I think we just keep doing what we're doing, but keep getting better. Yeah.
I agree. That's actually a good point. I agree with exactly what you said, is that consistency. If VoV can stay consistent, not only with episodes, because episodes has been really consistent. Clips, I think that we could work on consistency, because like I need to pump shit out.
Clips are the gold mine, because everyone's attention span is shit.
But yeah, no, consistency. Twitter, we gotta do that too.
We need to start Twitter.
Get on X. That'd be awesome. And yeah, consistency. Maybe that's the goal for 2024. VoV and otherwise is consistency.
Yeah.
Because that's the means to all success. Awesome. Everybody, that's VoV Podcast, episode 35. Krishna Kumar, the producer behind the scenes, gets a lot of work done, and he's been huge for the success of this podcast channel, Instagram, everything. Thank you for watching. Like the interview, follow on TikTok and Instagram at Voices of Vic. Subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next Sunday, 2024, first episode of the year. Peace out.